What is going on, everyone? Hunter with Rebel Outdoors, and today I got a cool new product to talk to you about. So what I have here is the new Peak Designs Outdoors in the 45 liter size. They do also make this in a 25 if you need something a little bit smaller. So this video, I'm just going to be going over all of the cool things about this bag. Not going to do any loadouts. I'm going to be using this bag a ton this year for different kinds of things. So if you're looking for some setup videos for that, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well as seeing this bag in action. So let's start at the back of the bag here. Now, when you get into the little bit higher capacities, obviously you can store more things in it. So one thing that you want to look for in a bag is something that has an internal frame or an external frame. Now this one does have an internal frame, the 25 liter does not, so keep that in mind if you're looking to equip more gear or heavier items. So this one's a little bit more heavier duty built to carry all that extra weight. Now on these shoulder straps here, you'll notice they're pretty wide, and that is really good for distributing load, especially if you're carrying heavier items over a duration of time. In these straps, of course, you have your tensioning down below. They do have a couple of mesh stuff-it pockets, so you could put like, you know, a phone or some quick, easy items on here. They do have a couple of different lashing points, and there's a ton of lashing points all over this bag, which is awesome. You do have a sternum strap in here if you do choose to use that. You can see there are 4 different levels to adjust this to your body type. Up top, you do have some load tensioning straps, so those are good for once you get your bag on and get it all adjusted. You can pull those down to adjust that higher and closer to your body. Now on the straps and this back pad, they're all a quick dry mesh airflow type material. The back channel here does have this really nice area to vent, get some good airflow through here. Again, this whole thing should be really good for venting on those hot days, which we will find out here pretty quick. Now one thing that's super cool, it does have a waist belt, and those tuck away super easy right behind the main pack here if you don't want them, or if you want to, they are removable, really easy, just snaps off and on really quickly. So the hip belt is made of the same material as the shoulder straps. I don't think it's pretty cool. These also have little mesh pockets here, some extra lashing points. One thing that's pretty cool on this right one here, you have a spot where you can put the capture, and that is this little guy here. Super cool product from Peak Designs. They have a plate that goes on like the bottom of your camera, and you can essentially just click on and off. And you can put this on here so you always have access to your camera if you're like a photographer or what have you. This other pocket over here is zippered, so you could keep like a headlamp, you know, maybe some snacks, things like that. If you do want to put your capture on your shoulder strap, they do have a spot right in here where you can tuck that behind and attach it, so that way you have your camera quick, easy, accessible that way too. Like if you're not running the hip belt. That's such a cool little feature. The buckle on the hip belt is a pretty lightweight design, which is super nice. I like how they've designed everything on this bag. So smart. Of course, you just have a little hook if you want to grab for moving the bag around. On the side here, you can see there are all kinds of additional lashing points. So what I have done is it comes with some bungees that you can hook on and off to increase your storage capacity to this bag. On each side, they do also have a couple of different stuff-it pockets. So if you want to put like tripods, trekking poles, you know, big Nalgene's, that's a really good spot to do that. And you can take these additional lashing straps off if you don't want them on. Then one thing I have done here on the bottom, this is the Rainfly that is sold separately. But Peak Designs has these really cool C-clips, and I've just put this here so you guys can kind of see what it looks like, just having some additional things strapped to the side here. You can tell the material that this bag is made of is pretty durable and pretty waterproof. However, it's not weatherproof. That's why they have the little Rainfly here. But if you're out in like a light rain or whatever, this thing should be fine. You do have some additional lashing points on the outside of the bag here. There is a zipper to gain access to these little side pockets. There is one on either side of the bag here. Now on top, this latching system is pretty cool. So you can see I have this completely shut, and all you have to do is pull this little tab and your bag opens. So again, the amount of storage on this thing is insane and I love it. You have a big stuff pocket here, which would be good for like raincoats, tarps, things like that. There's additional pockets on the inside of the edges here. You can also see there is some tensioning here, so that way if you want to cinch this down really tight to your body, you can do so. There is also down here. Now the main lid is a roller top design, and it also has this really cool magnetic enclosure here. So with that, you can gain access to all of your contents within your bag. Up top, they do have an individual mesh pocket up here, which is nice because it has a little lanyard for like keys, things like that, items you don't want to lose. There's two different ways you can get to the main compartment of this guy. You can come in this way, or you can come in through the back. Now on this back panel here, you can see there is a good place to put a hydro bladder if you want, or like if you're using this for every day, you could put like a laptop in here, notebooks, any kind of books. And that just has a nice little latch here. Up top there is a spot where you can hook in a bladder. But one thing, if you're a camera person, or you know, some weirdo that makes YouTube videos, you can put their packing cubes inside of these bags. Now this is just one of the smalls, but with the 45 liter, you can fit the big one. So if you did want to do that, you want to take out this, you want to take out the panel on the lid that kind of gives it its rigidity. This little thing can also double as like a sitting mat, which is pretty cool. And then you fold this underneath, put it inside the bag. And before I do that, these packing cubes come with these little C-clips that I mentioned earlier, and you will just use some of the lashing points inside of this bag to attach the camera cube, so that way your gear is not falling out. So you can see here is one of the lashing points on the bag, and you're going to attach that to one of the lashing points on the cube. And that is what it should look like to keep your gear secure inside your bag. So that way, if I was going to do like a super in-depth photo shoot, or wanted to send my camera guy, you know, somewhere far away to get an epic shot of me driving through the wilderness, I could equip this bag with him and send him off on his way. And that just zips up in the back panel. That way you can put your bag down, you got full access to all of your camera stuff, and everything stays where it needs to be. I do have a separate video on a couple of the different camera cube options and other items from Peak Designs. I'll put that video up here in the corner. And as always, I'll be linking all this stuff down in the description below. Usually, because I do a lot of the overland filming stuff, I just take this camera cube and chuck it on my front seat. However, one thing I'm super excited to use this bag for is doing some backpacking trips, or even just if we're out, you know, exploring wilderness with the family. One thing that is phenomenal about a bag that not only opens from the top, but also from the bottom, is when you do go out in the woods and you're storing all kinds of different items, you have super easy access inside the bag to get specific items that may be down towards the bottom. So in here you can just see I have a whoopee, a sleeping mat, and a medical kit. Medical should always be easy to get to, by the way. So if you do want to remove the hip belt, you just push in, pull out. They have these kind of neat little tabs, you could call them. And then once you figure out where those go, you just simply reattach them and pull, and you'll hear them lock into place. And again, if you don't want these, they just stow pretty nicely behind the main back panel, which is probably what I'll end up doing, just because one, it's nice to have those available when you need them, and two, it also kind of helps provide a little bit more stability on this back pad here. So I want to give you a couple examples of different kind of like lashing things and why I absolutely love having these horizontal, almost like 550 style loops on any type of bag. So another awesome Peak Designs product is these little mesh cubes. These are great if you're an outdoorsy type, you know, to put some wet items, or maybe you want a change of socks to air out. With this system, you can easily take some of these plastic clips, route them through the channel onto the bag. Now you can have your wet items dry out on the outside of your bag instead of being on the inside of your bag, getting your dry things wet. That's just one example. You can strap all kinds of different things to this, but this will kind of give you a general idea of how well their system works. So you can see in this stuff it pocket, I just have a shaker bottle as well as a bigger kind of more metal Nalgene cup. But again, you could stow anything you really want to in these. So a lot of these little straps here are pretty easy to just unhook, and then if you want to completely remove them, you can, or if you need to adjust them for whatever kind of loadout you're going to be having. So once I stuff all of my gear in here according, this lid magnets, you roll it down, put the cover up top, take your little piece here, and then that just cinches down on top. With the roller top completely open, you can get about another 10 liters of storage. And then also you could, in theory, use this top lid here to cinch down, like maybe you have a sleeping pad that you want to put up top or a tripod or whatever. And again, there's just lashing points all over this thing, so you can strap all kinds of stuff to this bag. So now I'm going to go off of their website and give you guys a couple different specs about this guy. It's a lot of words for my brain to remember. So without the hip belt, it is 3.42 pounds. With the hip belt, it is 3.97 pounds. Ultralight Terra Shell 210D ripstop exterior fabric is weatherproof, 100% recycled, blue sign approved. Internal PU coating, exterior rated at 1500 millimeter hydrostatic. PFAS water-free repellent treatment for an eco-friendly option to standard DWR. You have some durable waterproof ultra zips, what they call an oomph material, which is pretty much a lot of what this bag is made out of. Super durable, super weatherproof. But if you guys don't have anything for Peak Designs, it's really hard to show over a video. Just like you can feel something and know that it's a high quality gear. Everything that I own from Peak Designs is high quality. Big fan of their stuff, and I'm super excited to have this pack to do all kinds of different things with this summer. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, be sure to get in there into all kinds of different outdoor stuff, overlanding, hunting, survival stuff. Thumbs up is appreciated. And until then, we will catch you guys in the next one. I'm gonna go pack this thing full and go out in the woods.